for Thought Fest is a platform which connects all the South Asian countries together, which is Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Afghanistan. Every year we've been having delegates from these countries who have been the leading chefs from these countries, who are people connected with the world of gastronomy and hospitality. So leading hoteliers, restaurateurs, authors of cookbooks, founders of foodie groups. And the whole idea is to connect this region and bring it closer through the language of food and the concept of gastronomy. This year, in our 6th edition, our theme this year is wellness and rejuvenation in the post-pandemic era. The whole humanity has changed in post-pandemic. So naturally, people's food habits have changed. The outlook towards life has changed. And food is very essential, as you know, for survival. So the whole attitude towards food has been altered in the post-pandemic era. And our endeavor is to bring out the trends and to bring that information to people from the experts of various fields. Many other people who've spoken in the event have said, it's not just maa ke haath ka khana, it's actually going back to your grandmother's recipes and your grandmother's way of cooking, or wo kehte hain na nani maa aur dadi maa ke nuske, because that had traditional knowledge. The foods that we were given by our grandparents, which is 2 generations before us, where technology had not interfered in our lives, was based on traditional knowledge of our endemic cuisine. We ate according to seasons, we ate fresh food, we concentrated on having lots of vegetables, colored vegetables, legumes, nuts, and we went to traditional forms of healing, which is, for example, having haldi ka doodh, which is now proven even in the West. It's actually sold as turmeric latte in the US. So this traditional knowledge which has been in our families for generations, which got lost with the advent of technology, is what we are all reviving and is the biggest lesson in the post-pandemic era.
Eating healthy, easy to digest, steamed food is the best way. We use wide range of example agro-produce, right? So why not, focus on something which is more healthy? Why not to, focus on food that is easy to digest, which is good for health, with a lot of nutrients and a lot of values without any preservatives, right? It is indeed the time has come after post-pandemic as well that we need to ponder and take time, take a pause, take a break, and think about the food that we are consuming every day, morning till night. We are only focusing in momos and spring rolls, though even we are, like we say, we are Himalayan food processing company, but as of now the market is, I think, too large. So it's a food that is going to be there for ever and ever. It's not a fashion food, so that's why we are focusing in momos and spring rolls. We have more than different variants. We have our own innovations as well, and there are new products which are more healthier and more acceptable to the customers that will be coming up as well. Customer awareness, consumer awareness has grown rapidly, increasingly. You cannot, anyone cannot fool or be, you cannot fool a customer. They are aware of everything. They are aware of the lifestyle changes, the food, the produce where it is coming from, the sourcing where it happens, because the digital era is such that it gives you all the information in one click of a hand.
हमारे खाने को माँ के खाने की तरह, जो माँ 200 साल पहले रहती थी उनकी तरह होना चाहिए. साधारण, सिंपल, ऑनेस्ट, डिलीशियस, जो आज सीजनल फ्लेवर्स है उनके साथ बना जाए, वो खाना खाना है. और सब केमिकली लेडन फूड है. इट्स नॉट रियल फूड. रियल फूड इज़ दाल, चावल, सब्ज़ी. अगर आप उसको तमीज़ से बनाएं, सीजनल रखें, कम मसालों में कुक करें, वेजिटेबल ऑयल के साथ कुक करें, सीज़न के अनुसार खाएं, दैट इज़ मैजिक. If we keep doing that as Indians, we don't have to copy the West. See, Hindustan, the land between where Persia is, Iran is, to where the Southeast Asia, Singapore and all is, that kingdom was a kingdom of intelligence. It didn't matter हम किस religion के हैं, हम लोगों के दिमाग काम करते थे. हम लोगों ने एक साथ मिल के जो खाने बनाए, जो तमीज़, कपड़ों की तहजीब, एम्ब्रॉयडरी, गाना बजाना, सब पकवान, इट वॉज मेड विद अ सेंस ऑफ living where you are. My dadi used to say what grows together should stay together. जो एक साथ उग रहा है एक बगीचे और बाग में और एक फील्ड में, उस खाने को आप खाएं, क्यों हम औरों की चीज़ें कॉपी करें. सो हमारी गंगा जमनी तहजीब में सब कुछ है. We've learned कि ये आदमी ऐसा करता, चलो उसको भी absorb कर लो. We are like sponges. So live with that. It also teaches us to see humanity in each other.
There have been a lot of changes, right from people's cooking habits to ordering in habits to eating out habits. Everything has changed. People want hygiene as a major factor. People want to enjoy experiences at their homes now more and more. At the same time, because they've had a hiatus of 2 years and more than 2 years, they want to head out, have a great time also. So everything is a mix. There's a new market for delivery joints, cloud kitchens, and there's an increased demand for eating out and having great experiences outdoors also. A fest like this is very important because people can come together, the stakeholders of this industry, they can come together, they can discuss how they can have a safe experience which is full of hygiene protocols, and to ensure that what we've been through shouldn't repeat, and we be ready for anything that is there for us in the future. So this is the platform like this is a great brainstorming opportunity for all of them to ensure that the customers are safe.
It's a very interesting space. With time, with exposure, new trends coming in, India becoming the melting pot of cuisines, a lot of international cuisines coming in. It's become a very, very interesting space, and I'm very excited about the next 5 to 7 years. So I don't totally agree to it. I think there are pockets where, just for the optics or just for the theatrics, these things are ignored, and you see a lot of butter or a lot of cheese oozing through. But then there is also a population which is focusing on the right thing and doing preparations in the right manner. So it's also bases the consumer. If a consumer is looking at content, it's his or her ability to choose the right thing that matters. But there's everything. I mean, you can choose. You can optically see a lot of faff happening as well. At the same time, there's a lot of good stuff also. You got to pick and choose. With instant gratification, like you just mentioned, getting everything on the phone and instant delivery. Of course, you get a lot more options to eat from outside. But in spite of that, if you want, you can choose the right things.
How food habits have evolved, it is evolving every day because पहले अब आप क्या करते थे, एक दिन हफ्ते में अगर आपने बाहर खाना खा लिया तो आप लगते थे अरे वाह जन्नत मिल गई. आज आप अपने हफ्ते में कम से कम 8-10 बारी बाहर का खाना खाते हो. I think that is the biggest evolution that has happened. Secondly, what has happened that हमने न्यूट्रिशियस खाना जो होता था, जो टिंडे घिया सब कुछ बनता था वो हम घर में खाते रहे, साग खाते रहे सीजन में, बट वो चेंज हो गया बिकॉज यू वांट टू ईट व्हाट मोर इज फ्लैशी, वांट टू ईट व्हाट मोर इज मोर ग्लैमरस. और जो आप इंस्टाग्राम पे डाल पाओ, कोई कभी कोई टिंडे की फोटो देखी आपने, और आज मैं टिंडे खा रहा हूँ, तो अरे पिज्ज़ा खा रहा हूँ, सुशी खा रहा हूँ मैं. So I think that has evolved. So that is Instagram and social media has changed a lot, and that is exactly what our panel was all about. दिन में 3 मील्स मिलती थी, बहुत हो रहा, ब्रेकफास्ट कर लिया, लंच कर लिया, डिनर कर लिया. आज की डेट में आपको ब्रेकफास्ट और लंच के बीच में भी खाना चाहिए, लंच और डिनर के बीच में भी खाना चाहिए, और डिनर के बाद फिर से खाना चाहिए. सो आई थिंक वो सारा सोशल मीडिया इज द कल्प्रिट, इज द कल्प्रिट, इज द कल्प्रिट. आई थिंक इज रियली देखो, एनी डायलॉग, एनी कम्युनिकेशन दैट हैपेंस दैट मेक्स यू थिंक अबाउट अ सर्टन थिंग इज गुड, एंड फूड इज वन ऑफ द थिंग दैट इज इट रिवॉल्व्स, आवर लाइफ रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड इट. हम दिन में 3 बारी खाना देखते हैं और 360 बार खाने को, 3 बारी खाना खाते हैं, 360 बारी खाने को देखते हैं. सो whenever you think कि अच्छा हम जो खा रहे हैं या हमें क्या खाना चाहिए, या वेयर आवर रूट्स आर, सीजनल वेजिटेबल्स क्या होते हैं, ऑर्गेनिक वेजिटेबल्स क्या होते हैं, आप खाओ ना खाओ अलग बात है, बट उसका जो ज्ञान है, उसकी जो नॉलेज है, उसकी जो अवेयरनेस है, वो आपको ज़रूर होनी चाहिए. अगर आपके पास वो अवेयरनेस है, एंड देन ऑल्सो यू टेक अ डिसीजन इन स्पाइट ऑफ नोइंग कि इसका है, इट्स गुड. बट आपको पता ही नहीं और आप ऐसे ही चले जा रहे हो, वो थोड़ी ब्लाइंड फोल्ड होकर नहीं चलना चाहिए. मेक योर डिसीजंस बेस्ड ऑन द डेटा, ऑन अवेयरनेस.
Most of South Asia went back to our indigenous food habits because during the pandemic we had like so much time to cook, and a lot of us staying at home, a lot of us who like to cook experimented with a lot of recipes, and indigenous recipes were one of them. Because we were at home, we had time to talk to our mothers, we had time to talk to our grandmothers and our aunts and everyone, and we all tried to make what was in order to continue the family legacy. I think many of us made an effort to like continue the food legacy of our families, and that's how like indigenous food usually carries on, because it comes from the house. One woman makes it in the house, you pass it on to the next generation. So one was like indigenous, home cooked and household recipes really became popular during and post pandemic. And also like even like out of the households, a lot of indigenous food specialized restaurants started. That was like because it was getting famous in the household, the restaurant specialization, local foods also came up. And like I mentioned about buff, again becoming popular among the Nepalese crowd, is very much prevalent because buff is a very it's rich in proteins, it's rich in minerals, and it is our local meat that we have been eating for thousands of years before chicken came into the picture.